The Biden administration is telling the American people yet again, don't believe with your lying eyes what you see in front of you. They literally denied what was right in front of them, and then they refused to look me in the eye when they knew they had been caught red-handed. Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing great. As always, I'm here with an update on what's happened in Washington, D.C. this week. There's a lot to update you on, from demanding answers for the catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan by America's top generals at the time, to exposing State Department lies and what they're doing with your money. Let's get started on all of it. First up, we held a major hearing with Generals Mark Milley and Kenneth McKenzie, America's two top generals who oversaw the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. They are now both retired from the military, so this is the first time they've sat jointly together, being questioned, out of uniform, basically being unleashed to a certain extent, where they can now answer questions in a way that they couldn't when they were still in the military. So let's talk about what they saw as that catastrophic withdrawal was unfolding before their eyes. The whole hearing could have been summed up in one sentence: Joe Biden is responsible for the massive catastrophe in Afghanistan that is still ongoing today. Remember that when you go back to the Afghanistan withdrawal, the Biden administration very foolishly and to the detriment of American service members decided, we're going to pull out the fighters, America's service members, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, those people, before we pull out the non-fighters, the State Department, the civilians, the people that had maybe helped the U.S. military, that were Afghanis, those kinds of people. So the non-fighters are going to stay and the fighters are going to leave. That was their idea, to do this wisely. It was moronic, but by the time they actually realized the catastrophic mistake they were making, it was too late. Take a look at this clip.
I think the call to execute the NEO came too late, and as General McKenzie mentioned, it was officially logged in on the 14th.
Make no mistake, Joe Biden had hundreds of days to plan the withdrawal from Afghanistan, from his inauguration to the day he started the plan. Instead, he waited until the absolute last minute. He did not listen to the advice of his generals, who quite literally predicted everything that was going to happen to him. He did not care. He did not listen to their advice. That chaos led to the massive number of Afghan allies flocking to the airport. You remember seeing people hanging off the wings of aircraft. Those people flocking to the airport to leave the country because they knew the Taliban would kill them in retaliation for helping the United States. And then, of course, the deaths of 13 U.S. service members at the Abbey Gate. Unfortunately, this is nothing new for the Biden administration. Joe Biden keeps conceding to our enemies. Americans, our allies, are the ones that pay the price. Joe Biden took the Houthis off of the terrorist watch list so that he could send them $3 billion in aid, your money, to Yemen. Joe Biden conceded and handed over $6 billion to Iran in a prisoner swap deal shortly after the Iranian-funded Hamas terrorists launched the October 7 attack in Israel. To this day, Americans are held hostage in Gaza. Joe Biden conceded to the Taliban in Afghanistan, handed over billions of dollars worth of military equipment to terrorists during the withdrawal. And they say, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can get back. The fact of the matter is, maybe they couldn't get every single military item back. Maybe many of those items were being utilized by the Afghanis that were considered our allies at the time. But there are absolutely sensitive pieces of military equipment. For the Biden administration to tell you all that there's nothing that they could have gotten back as we were pulling out of Afghanistan is just total BS. Joe Biden gave aid and comfort to terrorists against the counsel of his advisors, and Americans died as a result. As a veteran who fought in the Afghanistan war, I will always continue to demand answers from the Biden administration every step along the way. That's what we are still owed. And they are still going out there denying that anything went wrong and trying to say it was absolutely a success. That's what the Biden administration believes about that. He believes that you're that stupid that you couldn't see what took place. I want to switch gears, go to something else. Now, as chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Oversight and Accountability, I'm always fighting to defend every taxpayer dollar. That's why when I saw the Biden administration is sending $500,000 of your tax dollars to promote atheism in Nepal, I had to demand answers from them. So we requested information, not just once or twice or 3 times, 10 times we requested information on these atheism expansion grants going on in Nepal. Why in the world would we do that? We still could not get an answer on why $500,000 was being spent to promote that in Nepal. Well, this week we had the State Department testifying before my committee, and I was able to nail them down on that, and not surprisingly, they lied literally right to my face, which means they would absolutely lie right to your face as well. $500,000 grant to Nepal regarding the expansion of atheism. Do you believe that that is an appropriate use of $500,000 of we the people to expand atheism in Nepal?
Mr. Chairman, I've actually looked at this. I've looked at the grant, I've looked at the materials. That's not what the grant is for, and that's not what the work would be for. I have seen no evidence of any grant to promote atheism in Nepal.
Then I brought them the receipts.
It says promoting and defending religious freedom inclusive of atheist, humanist, non-practicing, and non-affiliated individuals. This is the expected program outcomes. Increased capacity among members of the atheist and heterodox individuals to form, join networks or organizations. Let's go on and look at some more of the intents of it. Creating or strengthening networks of advocates for the diverse communities of atheists. There we go, there's another one. Strengthening the capacity of organizations representing diverse communities of atheists.
The Biden administration is telling the American people yet again, don't believe with your lying eyes what you see in front of you. They literally denied what was right in front of them, and then they refused to look me in the eye when they knew they had been caught red-handed. I'm going to continue to hold the Biden administration accountable, remind them that the American people will not be fooled, and they pay all the bills, and those people in the State Department are out there wasting your money. So they were just willing to say, no, nothing to see here. But as I said already, we caught them red-handed. Speaking of spending your tax dollars, the House of Representatives voted on yet another spending bill this week, and it was a big one. This package, consisting of roughly 1,000 pages, is going to spend another $1.2 trillion. That's apparently the only mode that this city operates in, is spend, 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 without ever stopping to consider those long-term consequences and what it does to your pocketbook. I voted no on this massive bill, and here's the reasons why. Now, while this package makes cuts in spending here and there, these cuts simply do not go far enough. With more than $34 trillion in national debt, we cannot saddle our children, your grandchildren, with debt that they can't get out of to fund idiotic ideas like gender transitions or racist DEI initiatives. That's how you waste money with the American government. And these things are not hyperbole. As an example, the bill includes $100 million for diversity training in the Health Resources and Services Administration, $32.5 million for pro-abortion United Nations Population Fund, $10 million for organizations providing or promoting gender transition for adults and children. Plus, while failing to secure our own southern border, the bill provides up to $880 million to secure the borders of Jordan, Lebanon, Egypt, Tunisia, Oman. The hypocrisy is out of control, and not just that, but it's a massive waste of your dollars. Now, there may have been some items in this bill that I would have supported individually, some good things in there, but we didn't vote on them each individually. And again, this sadly, yet another example of DC politicians putting everything into one bill in hopes the American people just won't be able to notice when it's all piled together into 1,000 pages of how there are all these places wasting your dollars. And then what? A year later, 2 years later, I have to go in there and have a hearing about why in the world they were spending $500,000 again on expanding atheism in Nepal, or on promoting prostitution in Colombia, or why they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on drag shows in Ecuador. Those are the kind of things that get stuffed into these bills. Now, as your representative, I'm always going to put America first, and this bill is not that. With that, I just want to tell you all, as always, it is an honor to serve you. I hope that you all have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you all around. You all take care. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.